Hello and Shabbat Shalom to you. Hope that you are go of this week and moving into the beautiful time of Shabbat to relax and reflect and pray and eat and be with family as we enter the essentially the last week of the book of Numbers. It's a double portion, so it's Mattot Massei. So two more portions for us to cover. But since it's a double portion, meaning this week they're combined, it's actually the last week that we are going to be amidst the book of Numbers. And it's been, as we talked about at the beginning, quite a challenge. It's been a difficult ride for the Israelites. It's been a very challenging time for Moses. And we are at the tail end, essentially, of the journey of the Jewish people, because the book that will start next week of Dvarim, of Deuteronomy, is really a recap. So the true action, if you will, ends for us this week in this double portion of Mattot Massei. Mattot really talks about the structure of the tribes, the final construct that's gonna how the tribes are gonna flow together, and then Massei, which means like travels, for lack of a better term, talks in particularly in detail about one thing, and that's what we're going to talk about. And that is this really cool concept of cities of refuge. Now, we've talked about it before. This is not the first time that the Torah has covered cities of refuge, but this is because it is at the tail end of the book of Numbers, of the book of Bamidbar. There's another reminder of these cities of refuge. And if you recall, a city of refuge was sort of your home base. You could go to the city of refuge and be safe from a variety of different things. The number one example was, of course, if there is an inadvertent killing of someone, not a murder, because murder is different, but an inadvertent killing of someone, then the person who might have committed allegedly that killing could then go to the city of refuge and be a refuge, meaning they could be in a safe space and not have anyone try to get back at them for the killing of another human being. And that's what the city of refuge was designed to do. It was part of the beginning of many parts that we've been covering throughout, certainly parts of Exodus, definitely Leviticus, and all of Numbers. These components of building what were a group of slaves into a true group of an am of a nation. And part of this has been the rules of engagement in a society, in a community. And so that's why there's a city of refuge, so that if, God forbid, someone, like I mentioned, gets inadvertently killed, they have a place to go in this beginnings of these court systems. The Israelites, by the way, are not in a land. They're not in the land yet. This is just all the blueprints for them to get there. So on this Shabbat, we don't have a city of refuge, right? We don't have that same biblical construct. But I wonder on this Shabbat if we could reflect on if we have something like that in our lives. Is there a home base for us? It's not the extreme of what a city of refuge is, but do we have in our lives a place where we can, is our home base, even besides our home, a place where we can just be ourselves, just recharge, just know that it's a safe space and a safe place for us to be there, and for us to know that once we're there. And by the way, this doesn't have to be a physical place. It can be a mental place too for us, a state in which we can feel supported and loved and taken care of. I hope that on Shabbat we will reflect on our own refuge that we have within ourselves, an opportunity for us to recharge, to reflect, for us to know that we're in a safe space for ourselves, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. And so I hope we think about that as we end this fourth book of the Torah. And of course, when we end the book of Torah, we always say, Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek. strength, may we be further strengthened. And so I hope that we will do that. We will be doing that tonight at services. We'll be able to talk about a double portion. Services are at 6:15. Services are at 6:30, like they always are. Services are at 6:30. And tonight we have Chardonnay Shabbat. So hope that you'll join us. After services, we'll be having some heavy hors d'oeuvres and some drinks for us to gather as a community. So tonight, 6:30, services and Chardonnay Shabbat. And then tomorrow morning, our summer hours for our service and Torah study, 9 a.m. Look forward to seeing you very soon as we all go from strength to strength. Shabbat Shalom.